All right, welcome back. That one we have 15 minutes to film on these. It's the longest videos you can make. So when I exited out of the recording to see how much time we had, it had apparently just hit 15. So it took about a half an hour to upload that first video. So now we're back half an hour later to finish these notes that we really haven't even gotten going on. So let's get back to this. Hopefully we can see that okay. Maybe I'll do it this way instead of exiting out. All right. So here are some common terms once again. Let's take a look at these real quick. Let's match up. So 65 miles per hour north. Just think in your head which one of those 65 miles per hour north. That is velocity. 10 miles per hour. That is speed. Rubbing your hands together to warm them should be kind of easy. That's friction. Turning a corner but not speeding up. Acceleration. And then pushing a bike up a hill would be applied force. Very good. All right, let's take a look. Now, Newton's laws of motion are obviously named after Sir Isaac Newton, who is probably one of the most important, one of the most influential scientists ever. I read a thing a couple of years ago where they said that something like, I know it was above 80%, 80 to 90% of all scientific knowledge we have today can be traced back to Newton, whether it's something that Newton discovered or something that we have used one of Newton's discoveries to build upon. It's crazy to think about, but he is probably the most influential, one of the brightest minds that have ever lived on this planet. Newton obviously came up with Newton's laws of motion. He, discovered that light was made up of the colors of the rainbow. You could separate light, calculate the speed of light. He invented, this is bizarre to even think about. He invented calculus, an entire branch of mathematics, which is probably the most challenging branch of mathematics. He came up with that on his own, which is just crazy. So we can put this down. So under the flap that says Newton or has Newton's picture on it, let's lift that up. And then we'll write down a couple of these things. So if you want to pause it to write these down. But the other thing you could put on there, he was born on Christmas Day back in the 16, might have been even late 1500s. I'm trying to think of the exact date of his birth. But it was on December 25th, which is kind of interesting. So why don't you copy those down under the flap that says Sir Isaac Newton, and then come back to me and we'll get to the next one. Bam. So you should have that down. Now let's take a look at his laws. So we have Newton's laws of motion. His first law, which is also known as the law of inertia, says, and this is probably the most popular one that people remember, it's an object in motion will remain in motion. Or you could go the other way around, say an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted on by an outside force. So if you think about a rocket traveling in space, they don't need a ton of fuel once they get out in space because there's no outside force. So once they are in motion going that direction, they will remain in motion going that direction unless an outside force acts on it. Now, when we say it's also known as the law of inertia, inertia is just the tendency of an object to move in a straight line. That's probably the easiest way to think of it. It says right there, a tendency to do nothing or to remain unchanged. So to move in a straight line. So when they're flying through space, that is inertia. If you throw a baseball, okay, it's going to travel in a straight line because that is inertia. But there are also outside forces acting on it. So we have friction of the air slowing it down. We have gravity pulling down on it. So that's going to be an outside force that will eventually cause that ball to drop. But if you were out in space and threw a baseball, it would just continue moving in a straight line forever. So that's the information that we should put underneath the first flap, or the one that says the flap that says Newton's first law. So an object in motion will remain in motion unless acted on by an outside force. And we could also put it's the law of inertia. This continues on with that. Let's just keep moving. All right, let's get to Newton's second law. Under the flap for Newton's second law, you can just simply write F equals m times A, which stands for force equals mass times acceleration. Okay. Now this basically says that the amount of force, okay, either amount of force needed or the amount of force that's applied, is equal to the mass of an object, how much of something there is, how big you are, times how fast you're moving. So force equals mass times acceleration. I mean, a lot of sports tie into Newton's second law. So, you know, people get, like football is a great example. You see Newton's laws all over the place with football. You always hear people will say things like, you know, I can't play football, I'm too small. But it's not your size, your mass that's the key. It's how fast you're moving. A lot of people get hurt playing sports like football because you're not aggressive or you're not moving. Before contact comes, sometimes people will stop or something like that. So now you have zero acceleration. So you're not applying much force. If you're a big person that moves very slow, you're not applying a lot of force. If you're a big person that moves very fast, then you might get paid a lot of money someday, because that's what people look for in sports. So force equals mass times acceleration, or it's often written F equals m times A. So that should be what we write underneath this flap for Newton's second law. Let's not worry about that. And then Newton's third law deals with action and reaction. So under the flap, let's write down for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay. So for instance, if I have anything to throw here, take it. That one. All right, so if someone throws this cup at me, let's say this is flying through the air with 10 newtons of force, okay? Boom. When it hits me in the side of the head, okay, there's going to be two different reactions. There's going to be an equal reaction, which is 10 newtons of force, this direction, being put into my head. So my head will probably snap that way with 10 newtons of force. And there's an opposite reaction, which would be my head will put 10 newtons of force back into this cup. Boom. So if the cup is moving with 10 this way and my head puts 10 this way, now it's balanced. So what happens to the cup? It will stop and drop to the ground. Probably the easiest place to see that is in, you know, like if you play pool, billiards. If you hit the cue ball, boom, it hits the next ball. And if you hit it square directly on, the ball you hit will go flying off at that speed. The cue ball will stop right there because it had opposite forces. Okay, the equal force makes the ball move. The opposite force stops the cue ball. Does that make sense? So under that flap, the third law, we should have for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. All right. Let's skip through that. So let's do this real quick. So let's test ourselves on the laws of motion. So a satellite orbiting the Earth. Which law is that? Is that law 1, law 2, or law 3? Okay, that would be law 1. It's inertia. An object in motion tends to remain in motion. Your shoulder is pushed backwards after shooting a shotgun. Okay, that's law 3. Action, reaction. So, boom. Going backwards is you're pushing a bullet forwards. That's force, or excuse me, for every action, equal and opposite reaction. F equals M times A. That's law 2. A soccer ball accelerates faster than a bowling ball when the same force is applied. A bowling ball would have more mass. So we're talking about mass times acceleration. That is law number 2. A magician pulls a tablecloth out from under dishes. So have you ever seen that where they yank the tablecloth and all the plates and glasses stand there? They are at rest. They remain at rest. That's law 1. Up to the top, you paddle a canoe. When your oar goes backwards but you go forward, that is action, reaction. Law number 3. This would be a lot cooler if this was an interactive thing. Picture hanging on the wall does not move. Law number 1, inertia. Earth orbiting the sun. Law number 1, inertia. A rocket blasting off into space. I would say that is going to be action and reaction. And then a speed skater that goes faster around the track as they push harder, that's force equals mass times acceleration. Boom. That's good enough, good enough, good enough. All right. Now, here's what you are going to do. I have a short Ed puzzle I'm going to have you do that deals with Newton's law. So again, if you got headphones, that would be awesome. If you don't, make it work. And then that's it. And then tomorrow, don't forget, you're going to need your book to read. Come with that. Don't ask to go get a book once you get here to class. All right? So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.